well, good afternoon. You've tuned into your stocks on CNBC-TV18. And a quick look at what the market is doing right now. We have seen that the Nifty and the Sensex today is underperforming, though Nifty has recovered a bit from the day's lowest point, still down 0.4%. Similar for the Sensex, down 0.4% in trade as well. What's performing today and holding on to the green is the Nifty mid and the small cap. That's managing to hold on to some bit of a gain. So let's keep an eye out on how the mid and small cap space is shaping up in the second half of the trading session as well. Nifty mid and small cap both holding on to good gains of almost 0.6% and more on the upside. Bank, let's pull at the Nifty Bank up as well, because that is something that we should be focusing on, and where that is headed. Nifty Bank is flip-flopping between the red and the green, though as of now has recovered from the day's lowest point is what the Nifty Bank is holding on to. We have top contributors like ICICI Bank, IndusInd Bank, Axis Bank, while on the flip side, HDFC Bank, AU Small Finance Bank and Bandhan Bank not contributing much to the Nifty Bank. But yes, that's how the market is looking like. But this is a show where we solve all your stock-related queries. And we have our experts for today who are joining in with us, Astha Jain of HEM Securities and Ashish Kyal of Wave Strategy Advisors to answer all those doubts that you all have on the stocks. Astha as well as Ashish, good afternoon, and thank you so much as always for joining in with us. You know, I'm going to start by talking about queries only, because market is just moving in that range. One day we see it up and one day down. So I'm just going to skip that part today and just talk about the queries. Let's start with Sun Pharma. That's the first stock query that we have. It's coming in from Rahul Menon, who's writing to us from Kerala. He holds 1,000 shares of Sun Pharma at a price of 1,210. Currently making a profit over here, so wants to know for the long term, and he's a long-term investor. So what should he be doing now with the stock? Should he continue to hold this, or maybe book out his profits and maybe look at something else? Astha, let me take it to you first.
Hi, and good afternoon to all of you. Talking about Sun Pharma, we are recommending continuing hold on this counter with the initial price target, which can be set at around 1,920 to 1,950 odd levels. Now, talking about this counter, what we have seen is a volume-led growth. Basically, revenue growth was decent in the Q2 of FY25. So it was a volume-led growth, and the company has certain new product launches also. I think on the basis of whatever effective cost control measures this company is taking, the US market is also performing. In fact, they are gaining leadership in India also in certain products. So I think it is a well poised to cater the opportunities which are present in the sector in future as well. So we are recommending a hold on this counter with a price target of 1,920 to 1,950 initial levels.
Okay, hold and keep an eye out on those levels over there. Ashish, good afternoon. Sun Pharma, how is that looking like? Should the viewer continue to hold this pharma company, or maybe book out profits and look at some other company? Anything you are finding interesting?
Afternoon to you and all the viewers. If you look at Sun Pharma, I think the stock has done exceptionally well over the past 1 year, also 1.5 years. The overall trend is bullish. We saw some kind of a short-term correction, but I think that's an opportunity to accumulate. The view is going to be positive. I think if the stock manages to break about 1830, 1835 levels, there will be a fresh breakout, and we can expect the target on the upside at 2000. So my recommendation, continue to hold on. It is outperforming within the pharma space. 1830, above that we are expecting 2000, and over the medium to long term we can even expect 2500. These stocks can touch.
Okay, 2,000, 2,500 in the medium to long term. So yes, the viewer can continue to hold the stock. That's the view coming in from both our experts. Let's move on to the next query then. We have Srinivas, who's writing to us from Karnataka, holding 300 shares of Bajaj Housing Finance at a price of 136 rupees per share, making some bit of a loss here right now. Wants to know whether to hold the share for another 2 to 3 years. Astha, what is your fundamental view on this one?
So fundamental view is positive, first of all, because what we have seen in the results gone by, that company was able to cross 1 lakh mark of AUM. If I talk about September ended figures, so that is one of the key for this. In fact, they have shown a strong growth in their financial and as well, and in fact, their GNPA ratio is looking healthy to us. So all in all, I think now the company is on a way basically to achieve strong profitability going ahead also. So we are recommending a hold on this counter. Initial price target which we are giving to this counter is at around 145 odd levels.
Okay, keeping an eye out on Bajaj Housing Finance, but Ashish, I know you don't have much in terms of technicals over there, but for the charts, last 5 days specifically, if you're looking at Bajaj Housing Finance, we've seen a fall coming in of around 9% for the stock. On the long-term basis, does it merit continuing to hold the stock, and should the viewer continue to hold it for a long term because they want to hold it for a time period of 3 years?
See, for the long term, it is going to be difficult to comment since we don't have much of a data or just 3 months of data. But if you look at the levels, I think from the stock where it was around 180, it is now corrected to 130. And even over the past 6-7 days, there is no positive reversal. We have still not seen a close above the prior day high, which is a very simple way to see if the trend has changed. So there is definitely pressure from the short to medium term perspective. One can continue to hold. The very important support on the downside is 125, from where the stock has shown a bounce back in the prior occasion. So if 125 holds, there is a possibility we might start seeing some positive traction. But if 125 is taken out, it's best to be out of the stock. Be cautious as of now, and let's see the price action at around 125 if at all it reaches there.
Okay, keeping an eye on those levels over there for Bajaj Housing Finance. Next query is on Paytm. Now, Rohit Kumar is writing to us from Telangana, holding 350 shares of Paytm at a price of 600 rupees per share. Wants to know whether he should continue to hold the stock or maybe look to exit this one. Obviously, now he's making a profit on this one of around 9. Stock is currently trading at 900 rupees, almost reaching the 1,000 mark as Paytm. On the fundamentals, let's start with that first, Astha. Paytm, should the viewer continue to hold this or now book out profits, given that sometimes you see those issues coming in at the stock, then suddenly sees a very sharp fall? So what should one strategy be here?
So I think the strategy would be here to hold the counter, or maybe partial profit booking is also recommended, but not fully. Now, the reason being so much of optimism is that even management is also guiding about the positive adjusted EBITDA. So I think that is a major positive for this company. What we have seen in the results gone by also, that there was a MTU decline, that is the monthly transacting unit decline. But despite that, also what we have seen is there was a growth. So I think this stock is now well poised to show strong growth going ahead, and especially with the positive adjusted EBITDA. So definitely a positivity in the financials performance is always, encourage the strong momentum on the upward side in any stock momentum, and that is the case with the Paytm as well. Recommending here to either partially profit book or may we continue with the whole lot of quantity with the 1145 as a price target.
Okay, thanks for that update there on Paytm. Ashish, on the charts, Paytm, what should we be looking out for? Because, after that one point of time at the beginning of the year, we saw that fall coming in somewhere in Feb. Then it remained in that range of around 300, 400. And then that pickup came and there's no stopping it right now, right? 900 almost reaching the 1,000 mark for Paytm. So on the charts and technicals, you also would advise them to hold, or what is your view?
Absolutely, you are absolutely pinpoint on the front that we got a very sharp fall, we got some consolidation, and it has been steadily rising post that. So the low which was there around in the month of April, May was around 330. We are now touching that 1,000 mark. My recommendation would be to book partial profits here. You are getting a decent enough move on Paytm on the upside steadily, and continue to hold on for the rest of the position, because as the stock is managing to protect its 20 days average and continuing to find support there and bounce back on the upside, the overall tone is still bullish. There is no sign of reversal yet. We have not even seen a break below the support levels. So as of now, hold on for book partial profit, hold on for remaining positions. Use 935 as a stop loss on the downside, and the upside target we can expect around 1100 levels.
Okay, keeping an eye out on those levels over there. Let's move on to the next query. It's on Angel One, where Puneet Saxena was writing to us from Ghaziabad, holding 30 shares of Angel One, price of 2,600 rupees per share, making a profit on this, wants to know whether to continue to hold or maybe book out their profits. Just looking at the stock right now, in the last 5 days, we've seen some bit of a fall, and specifically today, we're seeing almost a 4% fall coming in. Ashish, first let's start with the technicals on this one. What is Angel One looking like? Because before that, we have seen a run-up coming in. But is it any sign of a consolidation right now? Should one be worried on that front?
Not really, because if you look at Angel One and look at the chart since the start of the year onwards, you will see a very classical rounding bottom kind of a pattern along with inverted head and shoulder. That's a pattern in technical analysis where we say, and it has given a breakout on the upside. It's a bottoming pattern, given a breakout on the upside. Now it is just retesting that neckline, which means that the trend is still bullish. We are retesting that neckline and we can now expect it to go back on the upside. The target on the upside as per this pattern comes to around 3750. So continue to hold on to the stock right now. Maintain a stop loss, which is going to be around 3110. As long as that area is protected, I think the stock should reverse up back towards 3750 or higher.
Okay. And, Astha, on the fundamentals, what is Angel One, that one should watch out for? Because just last week, I think all these capital market stocks were buzzing in trade. We've seen a move coming in on them. And there were a lot of triggers also that is there for this capital market side of stocks that we're seeing. So Angel One, would you also say on the fundamentals becomes a good bet to continue to hold?
Yes, I think it is a good bet and one should continue remain invested in the counter. Initial price target which we are giving to this counter is at around 3770 to 3830 odd levels. Now talking about this counter, first of all, we have seen the robust volume growth of around 17% in the FNO. In fact, the NSE active clients also we have seen, and the cash market business. So I think all these segments, cash market business, it was around 17%. In FNO, we have seen around 20% volume growth, while in the NSE active client, it was around 15% volume growth. In fact, they have seen the growth in their MTF book also. So first of all, growth across the segments is what is a major focus of this company. Now, second point is about their entry into the new businesses, which are AMC, wealth management, and other financial services. I think now the strategy wise, these all are well poised to show strong growth momentum in the financials, as well as if these will be executed. I mean, these strategies will be executed in a very well manner. So I think all in all, it is a positive from our side. In the longer term, it can see till the levels of 3770 to 3830. So one can remain invested in the counter for a longer term perspective.
Okay, that's a view on Angel One, surely keeping an eye out on that stock. But on that note, we're going to sit with a very short break. But don't go anywhere, viewers, because after the break also, we'll be taking all your stock-related queries with our experts. So stay tuned in. Welcome back to Your Stocks on CNBC TV18. We still have our experts with us, Astha Jain as well as Ashish Kyal, to answer all your stock-related queries. Let's move on to the next query then. This one is on Mazagon Dock. We have Sheetal Korean, who's writing to us from Kerala, holding 100 shares of Mazagon Dock at a price of 3,800 rupees per share, wants to know the outlook of the stock, if she should continue to hold this or maybe look to sell the stock. As of now also, obviously she's making good amount of profit and we've already seen that run up. Astha, on the fundamentals, Mazagon Dock, do you think we still have the run up left? Given that this play is something that could continue to see some bit of a growth, the defense side, the shipbuilding side, what is your thought on this one?
I think we will continue to see strong run up in the counter. The reason being is that, first of all, the strong order book of around 39,872 crores. Secondly, it is the only shipyard company in India who has got Navratna status, and they are building strong, destroyers as well as other submarines also. So I think this company, on the back of a strong order book as well as a zero debt status, is looking strong to us in the longer term, as well as we are seeing now how the government orders have started floating in again. So that company will also be a beneficiary to this, I think, and hence we are positive on this counter, recommending a buy also along with a hold strategy. So we are recommending both buy as well as hold for this counter. Initial price target which we are giving to this counter is around 5,200 to 5,500 in the longer term.
5,200 to 5,500 in the longer term. That's on Mazagon Dock on the fundamental side as well. But on the technicals, Ashish, everything seems right for the company. whether fundamentally, right now Astha was highlighting as well. But charts, when you look at it, just last year, suppose it was just 2,100 rupees. Now it's 4,900 and almost at 5,000 mark. What would your suggestion be? Should the viewer maybe book out some bit of a profit, or your strategy is also maybe to add some bit more, and you're quite bullish on this one?
If you look at it, the stock indeed went from 2000. It actually went to the high of around 5,700 levels on the upside. From 5,700, we have already seen a correction back towards that 3,900 mark. So the correction did happen, and from there we are again seeing a move on the upside. So the overall tone is still bullish. I am going to hold on to the stock. I'll recommend to hold on to the stock because we saw the correction, decent enough correction, which is around 38.2% retracement of the rise, and now again it's breaking out. So continue to hold on. We can expect it to reach back towards the previous peak high, which is 5,700, 5,800 levels. That can be the target where one can look forward to do partial profit booking. And on the downside, one can maintain a stop loss of around 4720 area, which is the gap area, which is a minor gap on the daily chart. So 4720 is the stop loss and 5,780 is the target. Risk reward looks appealing even now.
Okay, the next query is on Bharti Airtel now. We have Shreya who's writing to us from Mumbai. She's holding 1,500 shares of Bharti Airtel at a price of 950 rupees per share. Long-term investor and wants to know whether she should continue to hold or look to sell this one. Astha, what is your view on this one? What should the viewer be doing? She's making profit at it, I believe, right now. So what should the viewer do?
If there is no hurry to book the profit, then definitely it is a good long-term bet. First of all, want to give the initial price target. It is 1,770 at the initial level, but I think in the longer term, and I keeping my fingers crossed while saying this, it can reach to the level of 2,000 also. This is what we are believing. Now, what are the bases of those beliefs? First of all, they have taken certain price hike or the tariff hike, and now this will reflect in their upcoming results also, which can be reflected in which ratio ARPUs, first of all. Secondly, so we are expecting strong ARPUs. Secondly, they have a strong customer base of around 563 million. And in fact, they have established 5,000 towers, 15.2 thousand broad-based mobile stations. So I think now the kind of infra this company is setting up, definitely that will going to yield strong results in the future as well. So we are recommending a hold as well as a buy on this counter. Initial price target can be set at around 1,770, but in the longer term, we can see the price level till 2,000 also.
Okay. That was the last query for today. So thank you so much, Astha, as well as Ashish, for joining in with us on the show and always solving all our viewers' stock-related doubts. But thank you so much for tuning in. Now, as we wrap on this edition of Your Stocks on CNBC TV18, here's some good news coming in your way, viewers. Now, India's business news leader is now a click away, and we are introducing the CNBC TV18 new app that is there, and that will get instant access to breaking the news, in-depth articles and financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the CNBC TV18 app now from the Apple Store as well as the Google Play Store, so you can stay updated with all the news flows.